Welcome back, everybody, to some more Ultimate Admiral Age of Sail. Well, I've begun the process of naming ships per the requests of our patrons. I've actually put out a post to those of you at the captain level. So if you were one of those folks and you have not yet, go over to Patreon, check out that post and respond. That's where I'm asking everyone to give me their name requests so I have them all in one place. It's a lot easier to just kind of keep track of that. Keith, we've got yours. The HMS Chimera was his request for a ship. So whatever your name is, I am going to put HMS on it just because that's how the ships are for the British Navy. So he requested Chimera. We will save the names on these others until we get those requests from our patrons. We'll just keep them what they are. HMS Grafton, HMS Moderate. I'll tell you what we'll do for this one. We'll just change it to the HMS St. John. It was a San Juan Batista. We'll just name it that for at least for now. We're going to take these four ships into this next battle. The Grafton, the Moderate, the St. John, and the Chimera. We've just got to get everything built up and ready to go. So the first things first, we got to get some officers assigned. Not a lot of great choices right now. I'm trying to go for guys that are not real high on one but low on the other, but rather kind of in the middle on both as best I can with what's available at the moment. So there's that. That's for the Chimera. Let's switch these out. I always like to have folks that have bayonets whenever possible, just because it works a little better. But let me start with the other ships and make sure that we're kind of maxed out where we need to be. We've got a 3-star crew now on Grafton, which is our flagship. Moderate's also a 3-star crew. We've got a little bit of money available for upgrades, not a lot though. So let's go ahead. We'll at least get everything maxed out. I think I've got the best available guns for each of these. We could go up to 9-pounders, but their distance, effective distance, isn't real good. There's more damage that can be done, but that's kind of where we're at right now. So I'm really kind of stuck right now with the guns that I've got on this ship. It's a 7th rate, so I shouldn't really be surprised by that. And the Moderate's only got 1 row of guns. So I think the 9-pounders, the Armstrong guns, are the best we can go with. They've got the better range, so I really need to stick to a little more distance with my range. Let's go ahead and see what we can. We don't want those kinds of guns. We'll go with these ones here. This is going to get expensive, especially if we use these reserve troops. Actually, we're better off not using them, and the cost is the same. So we can actually get, we're only limited by the number of guns we have for the Chimera. Oh, so I guess we'll go right around 310 for them, but that's going to take a lot of my available money. I'm really struggling financially to have enough resources to be able to do any kind of upgrades. I'm still kind of stuck on the basics here. Brass ordinary guns, Woolwich Foundry brass ordinary guns. That might be worth a research slot. I don't know that that's going to open up anything to me right away. It may take a little bit of time for that, but we'll see. Oh, we do have Woolwich guns now. Excellent. So let's see. Look at the penetration on those. So you see at 250, they have 30 feet of penetration. Compared to the Armstrong guns, which we currently have, which are right about the same. Actually, it doesn't appear there's a lot of difference. At 750, they're, what, about 12, 13, whereas these ones, about the same. So it appears that both have pretty much an identical, but there may be some options on these 9-pounders. Let's take a look at those and see how they compare. Oh, we can actually go up to the 12-pounders on the Moderate. That's going to be a weight issue, though, I think. Yeah, we're going to have to go do some other upgrades. So let me look around with this a little bit. All right, so here's a good example. The St. John could go up to the 6-pounders on the Woolwich guns, and that actually gets me some more damage. They have a damage of 5, whereas the 4-pounders are only a 3. So that's a good example of where it might come in handy to switch. And it actually, we're okay on weight if we do that. I don't know how we are on cost, though. It's only $1,400 to upgrade to those, so that's a decent trade-off there. We've got 6-pounders here. damage of 5. These go up to 7, but they've got to be closer. They really drop off, and I don't like how the Beauregard's guns drop off with their range. We can upgrade the St. John. Let's give them a little more morale. All right, I don't think there's much else we're going to be able to do this time around, so I think we're going to have to go with this unless I can find a nice, cheap upgrade that I can do to one of my ships. Seems like some of these aren't too bad. That reduces cannon weight, but right now weight's not really a big concern for me. I think we'll just hang on to the money. All right, let's dive into this battle. All right, the Spanish have struck back by sending a large fleet to retake the Mosquito Gulf. HMS Romulus was caught unprepared and became severely damaged, having little hope of outrunning the enemy. Captain, by order of the Admiralty, you are to deal with the ships attacking the Romulus and then escort her back to Belize, where the fleet is being gathered. So I feel like this is an opportunity to go big or go home. I'd like to get that extra money, so we're going to go War Hero. This is the first time I've ever gone for the tougher version of the mission to try and get that extra 5,000, which would give us some additional funds for things like upgrades and research. So we're going to try that. Okay, here we go. This is going to be interesting, to say the least. We're escorting 2 captured Spanish merchantmen on their way to Belize. Since we are all headed in the same direction, we decided to escort them. In the distance, we hear the sound of cannon fire. The merchantmen will remain in the rear while we engaged. Right after 8 bells rang and action ensued. It's a Spanish 64-gun ship of the line. Bad odds, sir. Never tell me the odds. Nothing like throwing a little Star Wars in there. We should use our prizes as fire ships against the enemy ship of the line. This could tip the balance of the battle if we succeed, or perhaps if we could manage to capture her, the Admiralty would be greatly pleased. I'd love to capture that ship, but I just don't see that being possible. Not with what we've currently got. So first things first, let's go ahead and try to slip in behind with these 2 ships that we're going to use as fire ships. And we're going to slow down as much as possible with these ships. I don't know that we can get out on this side of San Silvestre, but I'd sure like to if it's possible. Hey, St. John, why don't you wait your place in line, dude? Man, the wind is just brutal for me right now. Romulus is doing her fair share on these guys, though. I might just have to try and cut in between. These guys, we've got to try and keep away from all the other ships so we can get them at the big one. I love the penetration I have at range with these guns. Even though they might not necessarily do as much damage at close range, they're just devastating against an equal-sized ship. Alright, St. John. I don't know what to do with you, dude. There, we're starting to slip these guys past there. The only thing I'm worried about is that I can't get them against the wind to come back at that ship once we go this far around. We're just going to pretty much sit tight and just pummel the San Silvestre into submission if I can. The other ships I'm not too worried about, except for the big one, of course. I think St. John's going to necessarily be able to do much. So maybe we'll bring her around too. So I was watching Master and Commander, Far Side of the World, again last night. You know, it's such a fantastic movie. And I've always appreciated it as such, but I guess now that I've been playing this game, I appreciate it even more. Just the attention to detail, their desire to get it right and really portray it. I thought it was really cool, especially seeing the scenes where they talk about Lord Nelson, and you know, he's kind of the rock star of the day, so they're all talking about him in awe, and they're all excited because Jack Aubrey, who's the captain, actually served with Nelson, so he knows him, and they want to hear stories. And it was interesting to hear them talk about him in the present tense. And I'm thinking, wait, Lord Nelson's dead, but by that point he wasn't. The movie Master and Commander takes place in April of 1805 is when it begins, and Lord Nelson didn't die until later that year at the Battle of Trafalgar. So while all this is happening off the coast of South America and in the Pacific Ocean, you know, over in the rest of the world, they're preparing for this huge battle, this defining naval action at Trafalgar. Okay. So we need to stay on this side of Romulus. We need to avoid these guys, but then we've got to be ready to fire the big one. Oh, sweet. We got rigging shock on San Silvestri now. Broken rudder there. I'm not going to capture anything in this one, because I did go for the harder task. If I can capture something, great. I just don't know if it's going to happen. San Silvestri is the one I'd like to capture. I'm kind of sitting tight because I'm trying to not get Grafton too close to the big ship. What would be nice is if we could send something like the St. John to capture San Silvestri if we get him to surrender. I think San Fernando's just going to sink here in a minute. The actual victory conditions are to save Romulus, eliminate the enemy fleet, and capture Aragante or destroy Aragante. Oh yeah, bye-bye San Fernando. Alright, our fire ship's gonna get close now. Romulus, you need to stop firing for a minute while these guys go past. I think I'm going to send Moderate to go and try and deal with San Silvestri. I'm going to put them on canister duty. Actually, maybe Chimera's the one that should do that because they've got more men. Maybe we'll send both. St. John, come around. Alright, we're going to get one shot at this with the fire ships. Perez couldn't fit on the Infante, so I don't know what they're doing here, but this may not end well for them. All right, here we go. There's only 16 men on board, so getting the men to safety isn't a huge concern on this one, because we're not going to lose any men. They're not my men anyway. What we have to do is time this to where the ship catches on fire late enough that he can't get away from it. All right, I think we got it. Yep. Now we need to try and get over to capture these other ships. San Silvestri, Rayo. All right, let's get Grafton turned around as well, because they're taking a lot of shots on that side. Although I think Infante's done. Surprisingly, my fire ship's still alive. We got to be careful. Aragante is getting close to our other ships. That could become a problem. Oh, St. John, what are you doing? There goes Aragante. Just don't be too close when she blows up. Just a prison Hulk now. There it goes. Infante's gonna sink, I think. Where is... We've still got two other ships, though. This is gonna take some work. Alright, I think we're about to take out the San Silvestri and the Infante. I was really hoping to capture that one, but I just don't think I can get close enough. Unless I get him to surrender. In the meantime, we're going to start getting moderate down here to intercept the Rayo. Infante just sunk. Alright, we'll start getting some wind here in a minute. Well, nothing like having the wind completely change course on you. It is now going northeast. So now we need to switch around what we're doing here. The good news is this means now I'm in a position to hopefully go capture the San Silvestri. So we'll go ahead and get Grafton turned around. And on a course to go grab that ship. Meanwhile, let's take a look and see where we're at. Moderate's taking some fire from the Rayo, but now we're gonna get in behind them. See if we can rake their stern. now. I'm going to use solid shot. Right, let's slow down. I got to get back up here and see what's happening. I don't want to capture yet. I need to get a few shots on them first. That's a pretty high-rated crew. He's got 7 more men than me, but he's got a 3-star crew. Get a couple more shots and then we'll try to board. I'm going to slow it down now. Because we got to organize, we got to kind of coordinate 2 separate attacks right now. Oh boy, that didn't go like I thought. Grab him. So let's do this. Let's get some folks from the Romulus. It may be too late to do that now. But I'm going to bring Romulus over there. Because we may need those troops if, for some reason, this boarding action doesn't go as planned. This isn't going so well either. We need Chimera to get over here, but the wind is against us. Okay. We're going to lose a lot of men doing this boarding. We just got to hope she surrenders before our numbers get too low. I'm a little more worried about Rayo right now. Because Moderate just doesn't seem to be able to match her firepower. In fact, I may need to get out and let Chimera take care of this. How we doing over here? San Silvestri surrendered. Good. Alright, we still have 141 men. Not as bad as it could have been. So I'm going to move some of these men from the Romulus over to the Grafton. Oh boy. Moderate got lit up. Alright, we'll bring Chimera down to deal with Rayo. Okay, here we go. Look at the range on Chimera's guns. That is insanity. What kind of guns are those? $1,050 yards is the range on us 12-pounders. I don't want to mess Rayo up too much. I'd like to capture her. Let's go ahead and switch over to canister now. And try to get in for the capture. Slow down. Gotcha. All right. That'll be a win. That was an ugly win, but it's a win. I'll take it. Definitely made some mistakes there. Man, we had to take out that entire crew to finish that one off. All right. But we did do the harder version of this, so we got that extra 5,000. We did capture a 28 gun and a 40 gun. Okay. We're back at this, and actually, even while we were playing that mission, I did get a couple more patrons respond about names. So in addition to the Chimera, we're going to go ahead and rename Grafton as the HMS Hood now. And that was a request. Let me take a look and see who my requests are from. That comes from Alec Cummings. So thank you for that, Alec. Thank you for your continued support. We also have the Mills, Zack Mills, requested that. So San Silvestri, which is, I'm not going to do patron ships anything less than 40 guns. And the smaller ones, because we're not going to end up using these smaller ones long term. But San Silvestri we will definitely be keeping. So we'll go ahead and add that to the fleet and do repairs. So this will be the HMS Mills now. And as those others come in, we'll get you in there in the upcoming mission. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll deal with all of this at the beginning of next episode as we see what's coming up. Drop a like if you would. We'll see you again soon.